Muy bien, pues para toda la banda de hoy 89.7 FM, yo soy Diego Gil y el día de hoy está con nosotros Sean Fisher. How are you, Sean? Where are you? Tell us.
I'm actually in Mexico right now, in Ciudad de Mexico.
All right, where?
I'm in La Condesa, where all the other gringos are.
We're all the gringos. That's great. That's great. Tell me about, well, if you want to talk about the new single or something, but tell me about first about your music, because it's your music. It has sounded a lot in Mexico and in loads of places of Latin America. Tell me, how is that?
Yeah, it's a crazy story. Like the project was I'm from Canada, and the project was pretty much just based in Canada. And then one day I just reached out to this guy named Yo Soy Matt to do a remix. And then it was this track called Senor Tigre. And then that kind of blew up, and that kind of introduced me to the Latin market. And then 3 years later, here I am. I live here now. And like most of my collaborations are with Mexican artists. And yo hablo español también, pero me da pena. So I'll speak English. And that's it.
It's fine. Yeah, I was going to ask you because, well, if you live in Mexico, I suppose, well, there are places you don't need to talk Spanish over there where you live, right? But
no, I speak Spanish. I do speak Spanish,
right?
So, but it's just
yeah. But I was listening to that because it's been pretty like mind blowing, that because you're pretty famous in Mexico, and with those collaborations, how was I mean, after you do the collaboration, all that stuff, you get here, how's your mating with the Mexican music or with the Mexican culture? Because I suppose it has changed a lot of your project.
Yeah, for sure. I think it changed the sound a lot. Like, you know, we use a lot of more world music sounds, and like a lot of the lyrics are in Spanish. Like, I think it's just interesting because I bring a bit more of like a North American contemporary production sound, but like, you know, Eva de Marseille sings in Spanish and in French. So the truth is, it's more international than Mexican, right? Like it's world fusion, electronic.
And that's also interesting because you would say that there was you would say now that there's an international sound, because we would say a lot, like, of course, when you go to Asia, when you go to Europe, when you go to the United States or Latin America, sometimes you have music that sounds from that place, but sometimes it has the world has opened so much for all of the artists that you would say that you have this like international sound now. You can find it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it has something to do with like Eva, who she sings in French and in Spanish and in English. And like my production history is from America, Canada, Europe. And then so it's just like everyone brings their little elements. And like I love, you know, I almost like too many different genres of music. You know, I love like electronic, dance, I like jazz and folk and all that stuff. So when the final product happens, it's just like this mixture of a million different things, but it works. Somehow it works.
Yeah, I suppose that in the end it becomes like a fun sound that it has like loads of influence from other artists and other sounds and other places, but in the end it works. So that's great. So tell me about this new song.
Yeah, you're light. It's this one's definitely more on the dancey side. Like it's got kind of like almost 90s, you know, rave mixed with, you know, just contemporary dance vibes. And yeah, we all love this one.
I mean, you're light, and it's great. I was already, because they sent it to us and I was listening to it, and it's absolutely great. I liked it very much. I was and I wanted to ask you, has it changed the way, not only the way of doing music, but to produce it and to like the workflow? Has it changed to get to this song?
Sorry, has the workflow changed based on your light? What's the question?
Yeah, on your light.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. So it's a vocal sample, and I don't usually use vocal samples. Like, I think everything I've ever done is 100% original, but like, I just found this random, I mean, everyone uses sample these days, and I found this random vocal sample. Like, it was kind of like a soulful gospel, like, ooh, yeah, kind of like, almost like Fatboy Slim 90s vibes, you know?
Uh,
And I built the whole song around it. And well, then we got Lizzie Land, who's an amazing vocalist, to jump on top of it. And yeah, that's it. That's the story.
all right. And now for this, I mean, for this song, you were saying like you recovered some sounds from other years. And how you've seen that now people, I mean, because we talk about fashion and we talk about music, that it's pretty cycle, and
Sure.
then it comes back to sounds or melodies or something from the 70s, from the 80s. How do you have you lived this that now in 2023 loads of those sounds are coming back?
Of course. Yeah. And like, I don't know. And some sounds are timeless, you know, like some sounds are like coming back and some sounds are timeless. So I think it's like, it's a matter of like borrowing from certain decades, but also making things that are not too niche and just like keeping them very timeless and universal, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I love it because sometimes for new generations, sometimes they go like, "Oh, that's so original," and you go like, "It's not new; it's really old."
It's it's so funny. It's the funniest thing. Like we'll just take a chord progression. Like I'm trying to think. Like I have another single called Shady,
Huh?
and it's done pretty well. And like I mean, it's essentially just a jazz chord progression from the 40s or the 50s. Like there's a million other songs with that chord progression, but I took it, I changed it a bit, and people hear it on TikTok and they lose their minds because they're like, what's this new thing? I'm like, well, it's not really new, but like there's always an element of like reinventing it. Like I don't think it's cool to just take something from another decade and just like verbatim just redo it. Like you always have to change it a bit and add your sauce to it.
Yeah, of course. And now that you were saying about TikTok, it's funny. Have you encountered to some of these things that happen that you do the whole song and you like it because it's like the whole piece, you know, it's like, oh man. And then on TikTok, they only get like 15, 20 seconds and you go like, that was not the best part, but that's the one that go viral. Have you encountered with something like this with one of your songs?
Of course, I've encountered that for sure. I love it. I mean, like I think the internet is like it's like a wild beast that you can't control. So don't even try and force it, you know? It
Yeah.
makes no sense and just go with it. I'm not very good at TikTok, you know, because I'm a millennial, not a Gen Z. So like it doesn't come super natural to me, but I respect what it does. And if TikTok wants to use 1 second of the outro, I'll accept that. I'll accept that.
Hey, and I wanted to ask you also because I think that for musicians and for artists, I think this topic has been lately on the top of my mind. It's about ChatGPT or all these AI that are creating music and that are making voices and all that stuff that it's created by AI. What do you think about that?
It's just another tool. Yeah, I'm 100% for it. Why not?
It's great. I was listening to David Guetta creating something and incorporating a voice of one artist.
Eminem, right?
Yeah, exactly.
With
That wasn't
Eminem.
there. And I saw this also on Spotify that they were having to take down a song that was created on AI about, I think it was The Weeknd and I don't know who else. They
Great.
and Drake, and they invented this new song, and they had to pull it down. But I think it's another tool. I mean, I think it's like other inventions that I think it's like in a way the day that it was invented, autotune, and we had to work with that. You know, it's just another tool.
It's just another tool. And it's just like samples or spliced. It's like the whole point of it is to use it in as a part of your own work. It's just another piece of like the creative puzzle, you know? Like I think if someone takes AI and like tells AI to make a composition and then just doesn't edit it and then just releases it as their own, I don't think that's okay, because it's not really a creative process anymore. That's kind of just like stealing.
Yeah.
So like as long as you're incorporating it with your own creativity and changing it and whatever, then I think it's amazing.
I think it's gonna bring us to a new era. Also, tell me about presentations. When are you presenting and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm actually playing in Acamba in 2 days. Wow, I've never been to Guadalajara. I've never been to Tequila, and I'm very excited.
It's gonna be great. I mean, you've been how long you've been living in Mexico?
just for like 4 months now.
All right. No, but you are pretty much used now to food, so you're gonna have a blast in Guadalajara.
I can't wait. Yeah, and it's cool. Like I'm doing a set with Yo Soy Matt, and then we're also gonna play on the train, and it's gonna be magical.
It's gonna be amazing then. So this is in 2 days, and after that,
I actually don't have anything booked, to be honest. I'm working on a new album, so I'm kind of focused on just being in the studio. But you know, little things pop up. Sometimes I do acoustic sets around Mexico City. Like there's a little concert series called En La Sala. It's very small, very organic, and I've done a few sets there. But I'm waiting for my album to be done until I start doing proper touring. I'm thinking next year, 2014 is going to be my big year for touring. So we'll talk then.
all right. I don't think it will be 2014. It will be 2024. Right.
2024.
I was like 2014. I was like, am I time traveling or something like that? But 2024 is gonna be the year.
2014, I was still listening to like Akon and dancing in the club.
I know. All right. Well, but for people to be aware of releasing dates, music presentation, all on the presentation and all that stuff, just tell us, where can we follow you?
Yeah, I'm mostly on Instagram. It's at French Braids Music. I actually have another release coming out tomorrow with an artist named Sinego and another artist named Angelica. And we have a very cool track. It's a collab between the three of us, and that's out tomorrow. So it's called Kema. All
right. Well, congratulations on that. We'll be like really expecting, and pretty much congratulations. It sounds great. Your light. It's great to have you here at Oye. So thank you very much, Sean.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Take care.